was our garden that we've been building up for the past 2 years. There's a green space in the community, people together, we grew organic food, and we distributed it. We had barbecues and open mics for the youth here. We had a bunch of different youth from different high schools, but also from Samuel Gompers over the way that's threatened with closure right now. Came through and enjoyed the space. Just about a week ago, we got locked out with no notice from HPD, and then on Friday they came in and basically destroyed all of our infrastructure. That's 2 compost bins, shade structure, seating area, seating for like 25 or 30 people, 16 raised beds, a small shed we had, some recycled sign awnings that we used as cold frames, all that cut up, busted up, thrown out. We had a confrontation with HPD earlier today where we asked them not to go in the lot, not to throw out the last of our stuff, and sit down with us and have a meeting basically, or put us in touch with, whoever was overseeing the lot. And they weren't about to have that. They had some words for us. So we basically just had to stand by and watch while they opened the fence, went in, and trashed the rest of the place.
I started working in this garden last year, so we've been active for 2 years. I went to that high school right there, Samuel Gompers. I was a senior at the time, and now I'm in BMCC college. I remember we used to do it every Thursday. I'd rather just come over here and just work in the garden. I'd skip lunch as I had night periods, just ate as fast as I could and came outside to work in the garden with these guys. This year we usually work on Saturday, so every morning we wake up at 12, get here by 1, and just work all day on Saturday. We just had I was told we had 16 beds, raised beds. We grew like tomatoes, lettuce, kale, spinach, beans. I mean, for watering, we had to go to fire hydrant doesn't work at all. So we used to go all the way down the block to this one fire hydrant to get water, and we filled up 20-gallon buckets. So we carried, and our wheels didn't, like one of them it was a broken shopping cart pretty much. Like one of the wheels didn't work, so we had to figure out how to get all that water from there all the way down the block to here, and we filled about 3 barrels that was worth 20 gallons of water. I'm not sure how many pounds that is, but it was heavy. Every Saturday in the burning sun, and then we had to prep for the winter too.
I'm Manuel Asgar. I've been coming here since the summer of 11, and so far, like, I wasn't one of the founders who found the land and made it into a garden, but I helped make it big. I helped make it big in my own ways, and we had open mics and we had a bunch of like barbecues and we sold our produce and we get money and donate, and we're at this uprising moment where we're being so successful and out of nowhere, and then the HPD came and took back the land and they're trying to destroy it. Like we just feel really bad right now because we put so much effort into this, and yet and the HPD comes out of nowhere and they knock it down. So we're trying to do the best that we can right now and try to make it stronger again.
It was really frustrating to see that HPD has decided to do this to the garden, where we were actually wanting to build something for the community and give back. And shit was more real than HPD saying, oh, they want to build affordable housing, but the thing with HPD, they say they want to build affordable housing, but affordable housing isn't for our communities. And shit. This shit ain't right.
And how long this been empty?
This has been empty for like 34 years. Like nothing has been there, and like we started this project 2 years ago to like help back to the community, because like the Bronx is like basically like a food desert. You see fast food joints everywhere, Chinos, McDonald's, Wendy's, like whatever, all that old crap and shit, and like there's no access. Our communities don't have access to like healthy organic food. We actually try to do something, and like HPD wants to do this to us.
People who worked on this garden changed it from a place where people were coming through just throwing trash, where it was an unusable space, to a beautiful garden with food, community, places for conversation. And the city has just completely destroyed that, and they're taking advantage of the fact that people put their hard work into taking every single piece of trash out, to putting trash bags up along the fence to keep it clean, to changing something that the city had left to total waste into something completely productive and beautiful. And now they want to destroy all of that to, I don't even know, they say that they want to do these different things, they say that they want to provide things for the people, but the people are the ones who are cultivating the land, and the people are the ones who have brought food, who have brought entertainment, who have brought a space for people to gather here. and it needs to remain open, and it needs to remain a place for people to get healthy things to eat. It's so hard to eat well around here, and this was really going to be a place where people could relearn about food, right? Relearn the knowledge that had been taken away from them systematically to make people unhealthy, right? And I think that's very scary. I think that's really scary for the city, for people of color, for Black and brown people to have access to health and to knowledge. And that's what Morning Glory provided, and I think everybody needs to fight to keep it open. It's crucial for the city.
Well, I just don't feel like it's right when the community takes an initiative like this to do something that's really helpful for the community to, put up a garden. Especially there's not that much fresh food in this neighborhood, so to be able to grow it ourselves. And then for HPD to come in and just bulldoze it without any kind of communication with the community, without talking to anybody about it, it just seems really disrespectful. It seems disrespectful to the community. And, I think government is supposed to serve us, it's supposed to serve the community. And, I think the least they could do is just come in and have a conversation with folks who are doing this.
My name is Nizam Khan. I've been coming here since summer 11, and I feel like it's a big thing in my life just to see many people from the community become in unity, to show that power, that soul, that energy that we can use to make the input that we committed. However, not everything is as it seems. Like, as you can see, these things are being broken down. We spilled our hearts in the work we committed here. We planted, we grew plants, and we had our own shed. We even had open mic. It wasn't just an open mic to raise money. It was a way for teenagers to spill their hearts, to have a place to feel like it's safe, especially in this community. However, that's not what it is in the eyes of society and government. To them, it's just, fuck you, and it's our land. However, the land is stolen from the beginning. I feel like this is a fight that will start a revolution.
After consulting with a lawyer that we got hooked up with and hearing a little bit more from HPD, it sounds like what may be happening, this is just a maybe, is that HPD has a developer that's interested in the lot, and so they just want us out of the way so they can move ahead with whatever their plans are. Of course, there are no publicly posted plans on this lot yet, otherwise we would have seen a work notice, or we would have found it online when we looked it up. And those are the kind of review processes that these agencies are always just coming up with a couple developers and a few politicians in a back room somewhere, and then they just shove them right down the people's throats, basically. And, treat small community institutions. I mean, I'd like to think our garden was a small institution. Just treat them like they don't exist.
Tell us about the lot.
The lot itself? The lot itself is quite big. I mean, you can see it's, on one side, it's an abandoned gas station. We aren't on that side. On this side, it's a large triangular space that, according to everybody in the neighborhood, has been vacant for 20, 30 years. We couldn't find any permits on it for any buildings or anything for decades back. Before this, it was, a lot of weeds and some trash. And people walked through.
So it's been empty for like 20 or 30 years?
It's been empty for a long time. A long time.
And all of a sudden, when y'all decide to make something out of it, they want to come and get involved.
They moved on it really quick. So we aren't sure if that's a fluke or a coincidence or not. But yes, it's been completely abandoned by the city and totally unimportant, and how it affects the lives of the people here has been totally unimportant to them until now.
Yeah, cool.
Nuestra comunidad necesita jardines comunitarios, porque así también se puede evitar un poco, se puede combatir un poco la contaminación ambiental. Hay personas que vienen a destruir trabajos que han hecho nuestra juventud. Vinieron, no es justo que después que este jardín está limpio, que está cultivándose, vengan personas a querer destruir las plantas, lo que había sembrado. ¿A dónde están los líderes comunitarios? ¿A dónde están? Necesitamos jardines comunitarios, porque también así podemos cultivar y podemos incentivar.
The city should be supporting people like folks here at Morning Glory to actually create something in the neighborhood. You know, people are here. We're here in the Bronx. We got ideas about what we want to see in the neighborhood, and this happens over and over again. People come together to create something, to build something, and then the city tears it down. And they make way for developers that build really cheap projects, and they employ people really low rock bottom wages, and nothing really gets created for the neighborhood. You know, and there's there's no conversation happening with people who actually live here. So, you know, I'm all for people creating something and really getting support for it. So, including work with cooperatives, that's what we're about. And, you know, if people wanted to really form something that was about creating cooperatives and green here in the community, in the business, we're all there to help people make that happen. You know, something like this, would love to see, you know, a farm become something that really gets big and people are working there and able to produce food not just for their families but for other people in the community and really earn a living and be able to live off of it. But we won't see that happen. At least the city won't be creating it. So it's really on us to make that happen.
Like, this space has been vacant for 30 years. There's people who've seen the bank here, who've seen the bank get burned down, who've seen the buildings get burned around here during the burning of the Bronx in the 1970s. Now, we finally take this land for ours 2 years ago, and that because no one owns it. We know that if the city doesn't own it, we can take it because the Bronx is a fucking food desert. You got fast food joints, McDonald's, KFC, White Castle. You got all these polluting our nutrition system right now, and we don't have any like sources of good nutrition food. We don't have any source that fuels the community with what we need. And this garden can do all that. We can get everyone together. We can harvest. We can plant. We even do study groups during the winter. You know, just to educate each other, just to create the world we want to create. And to see like the city close it down, that breaks our heart. Today it just shows how much the community actually cares. They actually seen the work we put into what we want to see for everyone else. We want to put into everybody else. That's why we have events like open mics, so we can spit what we want, you know. And from these open mics, we could give food that we even harvest here to show that there's an alternative. That you don't need to go to McDonald's to get food. You don't need to go to White Castle to get what you need. You have it right here. And if we can work together, we can just make that shit happen.
My name is Athena, and my friend's been very passionate about it, and I grew feelings for it when he told me all about it. Like they poured their heart into it. It was so beautiful. Too bad that I came at the last minute right now to see it all destroyed. It just looks horrible. I mean, if the flowers were there and all those hearts that they poured into it, it would have been beautiful. I don't know why they would do such a thing. It's what it's just so. It's awesome that teenagers would do this kind of stuff. You would see like teenagers going out partying while these kids came here to help out, make this neighborhood look pretty and whatnot. It's just like without all that beauty, it's nothing.
For a garden like this to be torn down, that's absolutely horrible because every single plant needs so much love and care, and to tear down so many, this is not a garden. This is not one plant, this is not two plants, this is a lot of plants all put together. They're not even just regular flowers and shrubbery. These are vegetables that can help feed families and kids who don't get enough food. And to just pull down something down like that, that's horrible. Who would do that? Somebody cruel and heartless? Somebody who doesn't care?
Thank you everyone for coming out. That's really fantastic.